y'all. Hey, it's your girl, B, Tina B. Hey, and it's Thanksgiving, y'all. How y'all doing today? What's going on with the goings on? I am so happy that you were able to join me on today. Listen. I know you're with your family and I know you're with your friends. So if you have to play back, it's all right. As long as you get back with me, I'll be happy that you came through. I wanted to say happy Thanksgiving. And what are you thankful for today? Listen, our artist today, Chosen Child. Oh, wait a minute. It's Thanksgiving. And we're going to do it just like this because it's Thanksgiving Day 2021. And we have artists out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, none other than Chosen Child. Hey, hey. You supposed to bop with it.
What's up? What's up, everybody? Representing Louisiana out here.
Hey, hey. Hey, come on, you better bop with. Don't leave me dancing by myself. But you know what? That's all right. Because I'm thankful.
Supposed to be
Hey,
thankful and grateful.
that's right. It's one of those days you can't help but be thankful. Come on, listen to it, y'all. Hey, how you doing today, honey?
Doing good, grinding.
Grinding as always. You a hardworking young man, and I'm thank you for coming back and joining us on the B Tina B Show, Thanksgiving Day 2021. All right, y'all. Look, you in there cooking, or you just gonna be eating today?
Oh, I'm be eating and then working.
Now listen, let me tell you what. This is the thing that you have to do. All right, man, folk, come up close to the camera. If you're going to just eat, you can't just eat. You got to wash dishes. Okay. Oh, look, my little roll of meat. You got to wash dishes. You can't just be in there enjoying all of the labor. What you're going to have to do is give back. Somebody say give back. Type give back in the comment section. We need to give back and wash the dishes, okay? Don't be look. Don't be looking to the side. I'm talking to you. I don't care if you sit beside you or where you head to. You always on the move. But that's all right.
Yeah,
Really
always on the
beautiful
go.
good stuff. How you been doing?
Been doing good, grinding, doing this music and working, trying to maneuver my schedule around and stuff. Got this project coming out in December.
Okay, tell us about your project coming out in December.
My project man, is called Spiritual Rumble. It's coming out December 18th. It's gonna be streaming on all platforms. Been working with a lot of different producers, getting everything together. We got like 3 more songs left, so everything's gonna be fully finalized December 18th. Gonna be on Spotify. It's gonna be on my mixtape, Dat Piff, all streaming on platforms. And
Oh,
we gonna
that's
also have we also got physical copies coming down from Atlanta, Georgia. Have some people working on it right now.
That's what I love to hear. Love to hear. I know the last time that you came on the broadcast, well, the first time that you came on the broadcast, working and grinding then, and you got to share some of your testimony about who you were and how you came to be Chosen's child. So, because you're not new to the audience, I wanted just to go back and touch base to those that may have not gotten the opportunity to see the very first broadcast. And can you tell us who Chosen Child Quentin Triplet is? Who
All
are
right.
you?
Chosen Child, like I told you the first time I came on here, I got the name when I was at an outreach and doing evangelism. We was in a backyard and my mom had a lot of different like ministers. And all of a sudden they had this group of gospel artists came on there performing and I was like, man, they going hard. And I was like, I want to become a rapper. I was like excited and stuff. And I was like hyped up. So I was telling my homeboy, I was like, look, we need to go ahead and do this gospel show, man. Do this gospel group, and let's do this. Cause he was already doing poetry and stuff. See, I wasn't doing music at all, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So I start writing our own music, investing into the beats and stuff. And man, God has spoke to me, and God gave me the name Chosen Child. Right then and there, the name came right there the same day. I left that outreach. That name Chosen Child came.
Oh, wow. You got the name though. That's who Chosen Child is. Now, when you got that name and you heard Chosen Child, what were your thoughts?
I was asked, my thoughts was like, man, God, why you gave me this name? And he was like, I'm going to use you as a chosen vessel. I'm going to use you to reach out to the young people because in this is your time right now. This age group need love, need somebody to encourage them. And he was just gave me that name. I was like, all right, God, I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna roll with it. And then he gave me the scripture along with it. Proverbs 3 and 5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. And that's the scripture he gave with me.
So he gave you that because you know how to trust in him. So you're a man that trusts the Lord.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you
Like
always
through like
trusted?
like through all my difficulties or my trials and tribulations, I never once doubt God. I keep the faith. I stay prayed up, and I just talk to God about my situation. I'm not the one that kind of like give up and stuff and just be discouraged. I just go to God, go to the prayer room, and I just talk to Him.
Well, how did you learn to do that? Talk about the foundation of how you were able to actually establish your faith to know to pray. How did you know to pray? Because everybody don't know to pray when they get into difficult situations,
Mhm,
whether things that come at them or things that they get themselves into, because it is a twofold story. Because sometimes trouble finds you, and sometimes you find trouble. So
mhm.
how were you able to know to pray and you exhibit faith?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Before I started like praying a lot, I was kind of nervous to pray. I used to be kind of like shy and stuff. I used to be like, man, how could I express myself to God? Like, I always ask myself when things be happening, like, God, why is this happening? Why does this? Because when God allows something to happen, He have a reason behind it for allowing it to happen. Like my mom, like when she was diagnosed with cancer, I always ask, like, man, I'm young. I'm like 8 years old. What I'm gonna do without a mom? How I'm gonna get through life and stuff. My mama was like already up in age kinda, and I'm like, "Man, what Imma do?" So I just started as an 8-year-old, I just started talking to God and just asking God to heal my mama body, just saying that one prayer sentence, I mean, excuse me. And once I started saying that one sentence, like, "Lord, heal my mama body, Lord, don't take her away from me." I started meaning it and meaning it and meaning it, and next thing you know, I just started being more vocal about praying to God about what I want and stuff and following behind it. And once I prayed that prayer, like a year later, my mama was like healed from like cancer. So right now to this day, my mama been 22 years free of cancer.
How thank the Lord. Listen, this is something that is very minute. You said you gave one sentence. It was a one prayer sentence. It was a
Hmm.
sentence. And what was that sentence again?
God heal my mom.
And that was a prayer. That is
Yeah,
that
but coming
simple.
out of coming out of an 8-year-old kid.
At, right. And God, and it's interesting. I was sitting here thinking when I thought about the name chosen child, and I was like, this is a grown man right now, but we're all children of God. And so
Hmm.
in God's eyesight, we're gonna always be a child. Am I right or wrong?
And you brought that up. Like I have a friend, man, a while back. He was like, "Man, you like 17 right now. You chosen child." He said, "Man, what you gonna name yourself when you become a grown man?" He said, "What's gonna be like when you become a grown man?" I'm like, "Man, I'm still gonna be chosen child because man, I'm God's child."
That's right. That's right. And I thought about it, and just as you were talking and you were speaking from that standpoint that you were an 8-year-old little boy, just praying to God that He would heal your mom, and He answered your prayer. And so, even as a child, it doesn't matter your age, He's listening, He already knows. So, what was it in you at that time? What was your character as a time? Were you a child that ran around, or were you just, I know you said that you were a little quiet and didn't you a little shy, but
Mhm.
tell me a little bit about who you were as a child.
As a child, I was always a child that's always under my mom going to church. My mama everywhere, any kind of church thing my mama had, I went with her. If it was prayer meetings, I was with her. If it was conferences, I was with her. My mama was the kind of parent, she was kind of hard up on me and following God. and never like my mama never let me spend the night with my brothers. Even though my brother used to be like, "Man, mama, let the boy come spend the night with me." My mama would be like, "No, no, no, he going to church with me." So everywhere my mama went, my mama had Bible studies. I was there. My mama reading the Bible at night, she'd have me come in her room. So I was kind of a different child from my brothers and sisters.
So that grew your faith, that experience. Did you, what did you like to do as a child?
As a child, play games. Then I was like playing video games, play football, be outside and stuff. But like I said, when it came to like going to church and anything, my mama, she'll bring me along with her. She don't care if I got out of school, I was going to church with her.
She said, "Come on, baby, it's time to go."
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of school, how were your grades in school? Were you, how was school for you? Did
I
you
ain't gonna lie.
enjoy?
I went to like private school. I'm gonna tell you, I went to like
Oh wow.
private school. I was kind of shy though when I went to private school. I left like public school, and then I went to private school. And when I went to private school, that's when I became out myself. I used to be shy when I first went to private school. Like the school I went to, it was like hard to get to know everybody. And then once I started like grasping and being along in that school for years and years, I started coming out myself. I started being on stomp teams, science bowls, started doing all kind of stuff.
And then that's where you, so in private school is where you found your voice.
Yeah, that's when like when I hit 17, my senior year, that's when I started writing music, doing gospel music.
Says at 17, that's such a, that age is so volatile, I guess is the word that I'm looking for. Because at 17, there's you could the road is so wide and so, who is just so much that you can get on. And at
Mhm.
17, you chose, how did, I know you were with your parents, and how did you overcome the influence of your friends, or was it that your friends all were doing the same thing that you were doing?
17. I ain't gonna lie. When I was in school, I mean, I used to start to write like street raps. I tried to write street raps, and I was like, man, I'm about to do this street music and stuff. But knowing me, I was never raised in the street, never went to the club, never had guns and all that stuff. I'm like, man, what I'm doing writing this? I don't gotta pretend to have friends. So I started writing gospel music, started writing and becoming myself more. And one day I performed at this church called Higher Ground, and I saw a group of my friends from the private school. And they was like, "Man, what you doing here?" I'm like, "Man, I'm here to rap." And they was looking at me like, "Man, Q, we all know that you quiet, man. You a quiet person. You don't do that." So when they called my name to come to the stage and I performed and freestyle and stuff and got in the cipher, man, my friends, man, they eyes was blown away. They was like, "Man, you go hard, man." They was like surprised. Like, man, they even when I went back to school, they was like, they told the teacher, they was like, "Man, you know, Q got on the stage, man. He showed off," and the teacher couldn't believe it. But my teacher, man, I ain't gonna lie, my teacher, Mr. Corey, man, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have came out myself. Mr. Corey was hard on me. He knew that he knew that I ain't had to pretend to the people to like me, man. He
Right.
encouraged me to be myself. And once I started being myself and started sharing God's love to everybody else, man, that kind of drew my friends to God, started drawing people to come be hang with me and stuff. So I just don't thank my teacher for that though.
So we want to shout out Mr. Corey for inspiring you to be
Mhm.
yourself. That is so powerful. We're thankful for Mr. Corey. Who else are you thankful for on this thankful?
I'm also thankful, like I said, I'm thankful for my mom. That's the number one person I'm really thankful for. I'm thankful for my brother. I'm thankful for my dad, which rest in peace to him. He passed away 2 years ago. So
Sorry to hear.
also most important, thankful for God for even changing my life and even putting me on this course to do Christian rap and even to follow in his footsteps, because as a 17-year-old, ain't nobody thinking about being a Christian at 17. At 17, people thinking about going to the clubs, having smoking and all this stuff. So I really want to just thank God for not putting me in that kind of environment and stuff.
So, what would you say to the young men that are out here today that are experiencing some peer pressures because of life? There's so much when you listen to rap, because I love all different genres of music.
Me too.
Hip hop, in the '90s, that's when it was really coming out.
Yeah. I say I'm kind of young. I kind of like the old school rap better than this rap though. That's all I listen to now. Like I go back in the days and listen to like I listen to Tupac music, and people be like, "Man, you're a Christian rapper. What you doing listening to him, man?" It's because I listen to artists who have a story, who went through the struggles and stuff, man. You really have to listen to their music and
It's true.
understand them. And Tupac was really a smart artist though.
Yes, he was.
He had a voice.
He had a voice, and but see, I can't. I mean, but you got to understand. Even back in my day, NWA was out there.
Yeah, NWA, yeah.
Oh, oh yeah, I listened to that. Shooting was and spitting the lyrics right along with them, because and when I listened, I remember going to a country music concert, right? And I was very surprised that at the concert there was a lot of rap music playing. I mean, a lot. I mean, at a country concert, I was so surprised. I had no. I was like, so when they're changing stages and getting the next performance on, I mean, it's a lot of rap music that's being played
Mhm,
at country venues. And then I remember going to see Jay-Z. I got an opportunity to go see Jay-Z in actually I was in Vegas, and I was blessed with some tickets, and they was like, come on. And so it was on Halloween, and it was him and Timbaland,
mhm.
and just them two, just the whole time, on the entire time, and the crowd that I looked, I was people watching, because I said it was young people, old people, I mean,
Mhm.
Caucasian, black, I mean, it was just a lot of people just in the mix of it, and it was rap. And they were engaged. They knew more lyrics than I did. I was like, "Shut your mouth!" So rap is a powerful art form that that crosses generations, cultures, genders, I mean, all of that. So seeing you at 17 being able to put lyrics down that are positive is something that's quite commendable. And how old are you now?
29.
And you're still doing the same thing?
Yeah.
What's the hardest thing that you've had to come over? What was the biggest trial that tested your faith that you're thankful for today?
The biggest try I have to say was like when I be doing the music sometimes, like I dealt with like a lot of I had to say I dealt with a lot of rejection from other Christian artists, when you go through something and then especially from the people that you thought they'll be on your side and pray for you, and they kind of tell you that, hey, look, I can't hang with you and all that stuff. That was a kind of difficult trial for me, but through my faith and through my grace and stuff and through God grace, I overcame that, and I had to forgive them and understand that I have to be the bigger person. I can't let what they say about me stop my faith in God. So that's what I have to say, but I'm grateful that God brought me through that rejection and I was able to forgive them.
Forgiveness. Have you, does, not only do you have to forget, I'm glad you said that. And we're thinking about where we are today on Thanksgiving Day. Not only do we have to forgive others, but we have to learn how to be able to forgive ourselves. Because
Mhm.
sometimes in life we do some silly, some stupid stuff, just plain downright. Why I do that? You remember? I don't know if you remember this. There used to be a commercial that said, "I should have had a V8." They would hit you
Oh
on your.
yeah, I remember that.
You remember that commercial?
Hmm.
And we have some of those. Why did I do that? I should have had a V8, or I should have had more sense of that, or what was I thinking when I was dealing with this person? Have you ever had to have a time when you had to forgive yourself?
Yeah, I did. I had to forgive myself. Like I'm the
Is it
kind of
more than
person.
one? More than
My
one
first.
time, or is it just one time? Because I want to, you don't have to necessarily tell what the situation is, because I know some of these things can be personal. But what I want to do is I want people to understand that sometimes you got to forgive yourself more than once.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Like I had to forgive myself because, like, I can say I'm one. Me, my personality is this. Like, if if you do something to me or criticize, like back then, my personality used to be like, if you do something or talk behind my back and stuff, that kind of hurt me. I'm kind of a person like if I hear those kind of things, that would kind of hurt me and affect me. But It
Hmm.
have to take like a bigger person inside of me to like just to forgive that person. Also forgive myself for thinking like, man, I'm gonna get back at them and thinking them kind of thoughts of getting even. But I had to forgive myself, and that was the hardest part though, to forgive. So now that I ain't grew out of that, I can easily like forgive a person and just tell them, man, I love you, like God love us.
So you used to want to get back at him.
Hmm.
I lost you.
So let's see.
I lost the camera for some reason. We've all had some situations and times and thoughts where we actually may have wanted to get back at someone that may have done something that had disgruntled us. I still lost you in the camera. There you
All
go.
right.
There you
All
go.
right.
It's all right. Well, it's Thanksgiving. Look, it's Thanksgiving Day, and we want to still be grateful for the moments of frustration, because in those
Mhm.
moments of frustrations, that's when we know that we need God the more, because it's not about us. It's about us, His power working and dwelling within us, right or wrong.
Right.
And so we're really, really grateful. Let's talk about giving Him praise. I really love that song. When I wake up in the morning, I got praise. That's one of my favorite cuts of
Yeah,
your.
it's gonna be on the new CD, so I'm
I'm
excited about
really
it.
excited about it. Tell us about some of the other songs that's going to be on the new CD.
Well, I have a lot of songs gonna be on there. Like the struggle song I sent you. Now that song is one of my personal songs right there, talking about my walk in God and how God was able to save me and change me and stuff. So I really kind of like that song, Struggle, the one I sent to you. But like you say, today today's generation need to know about God and give him praise.
Talk about this one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's the song right there.
So who does your music?
This guy named he called himself DJ Big Wayne. That's who produced my songs and recorded.
Like I'm in a puzzle, no longer I'm in pain, no longer I have to struggle. God gave me the power to devour. My sins was kind of smelly, kind of sour. Now I'm feeling blessed.
Yeah,
No
that's the
longer
song
I'm
right there.
stressed. God turned my life around. Now your boy feeling blessed. This is my life. This is my story. No self bragging, no boasting, cause God gets the glory. I was a young artist, man. Nobody could recognize. And so much ain't in rejection. I ain't wanna apologize. All right.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Now I found Jesus, never felt so much alive. Haters, they steady hating, but me, I'm steady racing. Hey. For the prize, got many looking surprised. Actually, I wonder why I can't believe he on the rise. So I let the mic turn up and I let the mic testify. I used to wake up. All right, now, okay, you better go ahead.
Mhm.
Now that's gonna be on the album. And what was the other one that you sent?
And the other one I sent you also called the song was called Victory, talking about how we got the victory in God and how we overcome our trials.
Now, did you have any collaboration on writing, or all these lyrics yours?
Oh, they mine.
Some say I'm strange, some say I'm different. Trying to save souls, trying to be a witness. God gave me a vision, trying to complete my mission. Yeah, they doubted me. Yeah, they hated on me. Told lies about me. Say my Jesus bonus. No street life. I don't have homies. Just brothers in Christ, and we're enjoying this moment. 1992. Born as a sinner. You're listening to the sound of Chosen Child. None other than Quentin Triplet, right out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I want to thank you for taking out time today to join us for this Thanksgiving broadcast of Faith Talks. If you get a chance, I want you to go on your social media network and like Chosen Child, Quentin Triplet, and follow him. And look for his music that's about to drop in December. It's your girl, B Tina B. I want to thank you for coming and joining me on today's broadcast, pre-recorded broadcast of Faith Talks.